I've been a huge fan of fighting games throughout all my life. That's no secret. Starting with Super Smash Bros. Melee with my brother, Tekken 5, and Street Fighter Third Strike on emulators, I really enjoy playing and watching fighting games. More recently, I've enjoyed Street Fighter 6, G2 Guild Strive, Skullgirls, and Dragon Ball Fighters. But one fighting game that has always been a constant for me is Mortal Kombat. I discovered the franchise with Mortal Kombat 9 watching gameplay videos on YouTube and played in a friend's house before finally getting my own copy. I really enjoyed that game and still today, sometimes I play it with my friends. Then came MKX, which I consider the best game NRS has released. It had frenetic gameplay, sharp mechanics, and an amazing roster of characters, both old and new. It's unique and fun to play. Then MK11 came out. Although it wasn't as good as MKX, it brought a lot of content, a better story, and one of the best rosters in Mortal Kombat history in terms of iconic characters. Mortal Kombat is my second most played video game of all time if you count Smash Bros. As a fighting game. I love the character design, the fatalities, the brutalities, and playing with my friends. However, the Mortal Kombat series is going through a rough time right now. MK1 is the recent game from NRS, and almost a year since its release, it has faced a lot of controversy. Issues ranging from its mechanics and gameplay, the new cameo system, lack of content, microtransaction, a disappointing story mode, a boring invasion mode, broken characters, and more. This has led to a drop in players. On Steam, it has 3,700 active players, which might not sound bad until you compare it to its competitors, Tekken 8 with over 9,000 active players, and Street Fighter 6 with over 10,000. Some argue that it's not fair to compare these games because they're different types of fighting games, but looking at previous Mortal Kombat titles, you see that MK11 has 2,100 active players, and before the release of the latest DLC character Takeda, both MK1 and MK11 had the same number of players playing at the same time. Keep in mind that MK11 was released 5 years ago. With all these issues, I've stopped playing MK1. There is no reason to play Combat League because people use the same characters and cameos, and the game rewards more patient and sonic gameplay, making it boring. That's why I prefer MKX, which was more aggressive and rewarding if you play by applying pressure and using mix-ups. You could argue that fighting games are usually played patiently, and footsies are the main strategy, which would be correct if there were actual neutral in MK1. Let's compare it with Street Fighter 6. When playing Gaia, for example, you want to be patient, use fireballs and anti-air when someone tries to jump in. But if you watch top level Gaia players, they create space to punish or land hits. In Street Fighter, depending on your character, you want to play at a certain distance to be comfortable, like Marth and Sheik in Melee, who tried to keep away from Fox to reach him with their extended hitboxes. Comparing this to MK1 gameplay, even though players approach each other, it's more of a zoning game. Also, there are more neutral skips using cameos like Kung Lao. Speaking of cameos, it's a polarizing mechanic. Some people love it, some people hate it. At first, I thought it was a good idea, but now I see it has ruined the experience for casual and professional players alike. For casuals, it adds a level of difficulty they're not used to, and since the mechanic is essential for combos, pressure, and neutral, casual players suffer more if they don't use them. From a competitive point of view, the cameo system has made characters broken, like Cyrex when he first came out with Baraka and Rain. Even though that issue has been resolved, players always discover something worse or similar, like with Striker and Kano, which allows you to do risky moves that now are safe. Tag games are usually broken, but the fact that there is no mode without cameo is something that you always have to deal with. That's why I like the drive mechanic in Street Fighter 6. It's a defensive and aggressive tool that allows you to do combos and apply pressure, but also to get off pressure. However, you have to manage it properly because if you spam it and your drive meter runs out, you start to take cheap damage, become slower, and can't use DI or drive rush for combos or pressure. Another reason I've left MK1 is the lack of variety in characters and cameos. At higher levels, you start to see the same combination of characters: Sindel Kung Lao, Homelander Chameleon, Baraka Kano, Johnny Cage Chameleon. especially Johnny when no new character has come out. I just want to say that this is not the player's fault. If they want to use what is broken to win, they can. This is the responsibility of NRS, because the lack of variety makes watching or playing the game more tedious. Comparing this to Melee. Melee is an old game, and usually old games lack variety, due to lack of updates or none at all. And the meta becomes stale with players using characters that remain broken. An example is Street Fighter 3rd Strike, where at both EVO and EVO Japan, Jun and Chun-Li are the most used characters. However, in Melee, not only is the best character in the world not predominant in every tournament until we got Cody Schwab, but characters like Puff, Marth, Falco, Peach, Sheik, Captain Falcon, and even Pikachu, Yoshi, and Donkey Kong have shown good results in majors and super majors. That's why Super Smash Bros. Melee is more exciting and entertaining than MK1. Lastly, MK1 lacks content compared to previous Mortal Kombat games. MK11 have the Crypt, a semi-open world with puzzles and Easter eggs, a deeper and bigger character customization system where you can change skins, accessories, moves, intros, and victory screens, with at least 4 variations each. It also had more skins for free. The towers gave you more rewards and had different gimmicks, allowing you to play with friends or people online. Overall, you could do more than just play ranked. Casual players had more fun in the previous games. Before I finish this video, I want to say that I likely give MK1 one more opportunity. Right now I'm playing Street Fighter 6 because I found it more fun to play and watch. I enjoy figuring out how to play against every character that I come across because it's different every time I play ranked. I feel that if I lose, it's due to my mistakes rather than something cheap or broken. The narrative of the competitive scene is also more exciting, with Punk winning his first EVO and big names like Mena RD and Angry Bird not even making the top 6, and new faces rising to take their spots. It's safe to say that Street Fighter 6 has caught my attention as my primary fighting game. The devs of MK1 know there are issues, and they will try to fix them. Will it be too late? No one knows. But I will keep my eyes on MK1 to see if it dies or lives to see another day.